Hey guys, Marble Tyler here, and today I want to do a little bit of a chat. So I have some notes. I don't really have a script written for this video by any means. And the gameplay you're watching is from a game night that the Act Man did. So if you've never heard of the Act Man, go check out his channel. It is literally awesome, amazing. I don't know. He's my favorite YouTuber, and I'm part of his Patreon, and in doing so, I get to be part of his game nights. I'm pretty happy about that. It's a lot of fun. So this is from his most recent Call of Duty video. There's no audio recorded, so if you're trying to listen in, you're not going to hear anything, so don't worry about that. But, so that's where the basis of this video comes on, and I will be making a second video following up on community game nights and why I think they're important. But I'm going to talk about YouTubers in general, and I'm going to compare them to celebrities. Now, in doing so, we're not talking about individuals here. I'm not taking the Act Man, or specifically, I'm not gonna try to compare PewDiePie with Chris Pratt. That's not a comparison I'm looking to do. That's not something I'm trying to argue that some person is better than another person, or this star is more famous than another star, or this person has more Twitter followers, or YouTube followers, or whatever. I don't really care. We're not trying to compare individuals. But instead, we're trying to talk about what kind of audience each different type of, I guess famous genre, we'll say, what kind of audience they try to reach, and how they end up reaching them, and just what that's going to look like as time goes forward, and as society continues with all this technology and YouTubing expanding and Twitter and social media and everything else, and how it's becoming more relatable for different types of stars, more or less. So why is this a conversation at all? Well, celebrities are still household names. I mean, everyone knows, I say everyone, but generally people know of Harrison Ford. Chris Pratt is obviously making his rounds. Robert Downey Jr. A lot of these people are extremely identifiable. And honestly, if you were to tell someone about PewDiePie, or the Act Man, like I said, or some of these other even more username based, we'll say Late Night Gaming, another one of my favorites. These aren't common household names. Obviously, there's like Rice Gum, people that are way more popular than, for example, the Act Man or Late Night Gaming. And some of them might be recognized. Some families might recognize the name Ghost Robo. Some might not. Honestly, it just comes down to the family. So, anything like that might be anecdotal. We don't really have a poll that, do you recognize this name? Do you recognize this name? But some studies have shown that more and more, for the ages of 13 to 24, stars on YouTube are becoming more identifiable and more common and more popular than movie stars or music stars in another case. So actual quote-unquote celebrities or famous celebrities that they're in movies, or they have number one songs, really cool stuff. Well, these things aren't being considered as common and as important in some of these younger, more teenage lives. That's not to say that they're completely gone by any means. Obviously, music and movies and everything is still a huge part of pop culture, and especially for the teenage years. It's still a huge thing for everyone. But compared to, for example, YouTube or internet stars, it's becoming less common. So we'll take some of the reasons why the movie industry and theaters are declining. And that's not to say they're not making money by any means, but obviously theaters aren't bringing in as many people because the biggest reasons are online streaming and illegal downloads. Music and movies and all this stuff is just illegally downloaded nowadays. Way easier. And the biggest thing, it's free, as well as subscription services. You don't have to buy stuff anymore. You can subscribe and then get all of it for free, music you'll never listen to, and music you'll listen to over and over and over again. You get it all for free because, free, quote-unquote, because you sign up for a subscription service. So those are becoming more standard than, going out and buying a CD, or buying a movie, or going to the theater. That's not common anymore. Whether it's legal or not, that's a different issue. I don't agree with the legality of it, but that's just the truth of it in today's society. We want free stuff, and generally, the internet is a way of getting stuff for free and way faster. And that's just how it is these days. Now, of course, the reason this is so different from back in the day is because back then, one, we didn't have the internet to look up these things, but two, you went and saw a movie based on who was in it. Oh, Harrison Ford's in that movie, I'm going to see it. I'm going to go buy this CD from my favorite artist because I know that artist. I know they're reliable. I don't know a lot of these other people besides, of course, the radio. So, and that's just something that younger audiences don't have to prioritize anymore because they don't have to recognize these things. They just play it, sounds really cool, and they forget about it, and that's all it is. And then sometimes that happens with YouTube too. So let's talk about some of the benefits that YouTubers have over these big name celebrities in today's day and age. So first of all, YouTubers have a much lighter schedule. They don't have big studios, distributors, publishers. They don't have interviews to do. They don't have forced arrangements that they have to be at, and all these other things to distract them from being able to just interact with fans and be a part of their lives. It takes a lot of work making a movie. It doesn't take as much work making a YouTube video, especially if it's like a gaming YouTube video. You don't have to do any camera work. You don't have to do any scenery. You play a video game, you press record, and you talk over it. I know there's more to it than just that, but that's the gist of it. And honestly, it's just super easy to follow instead of making a high-budget movie or TV show. And like I said, they have the freedom to do whatever they want as well. They're not forced to sign on and follow a script that the publisher decided based on what the writer decided, based on what the director's deciding for the scene. They have freedom to do whatever they want and express themselves and personality, and because of that, they're more relatable. You don't really know who Harrison Ford is because of his Han Solo act or his Indiana Jones. You don't know who he is. You just know he plays a really cool character, but you don't know anything about him. You don't know even if he's a nice guy. I'm willing to bet he is, but you don't know that. Just based on his acting in a movie. You might watch interviews, but that still only gives you a small glimpse as opposed to an entirely personality-based YouTube channel. You don't have to have a super high budget to do a YouTube channel on top of that. Like I said, the quality doesn't have to be wonderful. I mean, look at my quality. I'm not exactly popular by any means, but my quality's pretty crap. And, you probably get a little bit more from me than you would out of some movie stars. Just because you don't have to, like I said, hunt down information, try to figure it out. They have more, we have more free time as, just regular people, just doing stuff, And we're able to do stuff more frequently. Like I said, production for a movie or TV show takes a long time. It's very complicated. High budget, high quality, all this other stuff. You can't do that as often because it just takes way more time, way more effort. You don't have to do that as a YouTuber. So popular YouTubers, you don't have to put that much work into it. Comparatively. Obviously, there's some people that put a lot of work into their stuff, and they create absolutely amazing things. No doubt about that. But you don't have to do it as much in a feature-length film as you do in a 5-minute YouTube video. I mean, the point stands. And because of that, communication, community interaction is far more frequent. It's happening all the time. Like I said, we're less busy. I say we, I'm not very popular, but YouTubers are less busy. They can be out there, they can talk to people, they can interact with people. And, celebrities can do this too, but because they're so much busy, they can't do it as much, and because they might have, most of the time, a lot more fans because, it's much easier to discover these people, the likelihood of you, being able to get in touch or get a tweet, liked or whatever from some rapper or some movie star, it's much harder than it is from some YouTuber that you really like their Halo videos, or you really like the skits they do, or the political beliefs they have, or whatever it is. And because of that, on top of everything else, it's free. YouTube is free. The only thing you have to pay is 30 seconds of your time sometimes to an ad, or if you have YouTube Red or whatever. But for the most part, it's free. So you're able to experience these things without spending a dime. So moving beyond the benefits of being a YouTuber versus a celebrity, what makes that appeal to younger audiences in particular? Well, because you're posting more often and you're showing a lot more of your personality, for a lot of younger audiences, they're going to relate to someone, or they're going to like someone that they can view as either a hero or relatable or someone they want to be like. I mean, isn't that what we do in general? We want to relate to someone, we want to be able to understand them. And YouTubers are just way better at doing that. Not because celebrities can't do that, but that's because their line of work prevents them from showing who they are, quote unquote. It's different from acting as someone or just playing music than it is from being a person. And obviously, you get to interact with the quote unquote star on YouTube. So, say you're on a Twitch stream or a YouTube live stream. You're able to ask questions, you're able to comment on stuff. And a lot of times, you're going to see those YouTubers or Twitch streamers respond to those comments, or they're going to answer your questions. And that's something really cool. That's an awesome, awesome feeling. You don't get that as much as from a celebrity, like a movie star. You don't see Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man, being able to respond to every single person because there's just so many. And that's, arguably that person's more famous or making more money. I get that. But that doesn't appeal to, younger stars or younger viewers. Does that make sense? So because of the personality and the less following, you're just able to have that personal interaction that especially the younger people are really looking to relate to. And overall, these are just some of the reasons why I believe YouTubers are becoming more popular than celebrities, especially for the generation of millennials, the ages of 13 to 24. I'll link a couple of articles that I found talking about the issue. Obviously, right now, this is a very subjective issue besides polls or whatever, and even then, you can't interview everyone, so this is just my opinion. These are some things I've noticed, whether it's being my anecdotal working with teens or just some things I've seen online. But let me know what you think. Go in the comments. Tell me what you think on the issue, if YouTubers are celebrities. I know some people avidly believe they're not. And I want to hear you. I want to hear what your reasoning is. And, I want to hear you disagree with me. I like having conversations about this. So other than that, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We'll see you back on STG.